I'm fantastic. Happy New Year's. I tell you what, everybody watching, the best thing you can do is let your friends know that this is going on because it's the best way to start their new year.
With us on Wook Plus. Uh, that was a fucking fun New Year's, my man. I
Dude,
be
how else do you come off last year except doing something like this where last year we look back and we closed the chapter on Gamehenge and all that, and this year we came out dressed like the Disco Biscuits and we were transfusion pioneers.
Yeah, it was like a string cheesy disco biscuity with like fish
Oh,
chicks with fans. It was so funny that they gave the fucking. Tell me you didn't think about like Mondegreen with like Ben's everybody with the fans, like when they had the
that's what I
dance.
wanted at Mondegreen. I wanted that at Mondegreen. Chicks walking around like that in the crowd. I mean, come on. Where
uh,
were they?
what the crazy and so you
Fantastic show.
we have all the new stuff, right? And we'll get into the third set, but like all the new things and the rave thing. But then also with the encore tying it into last year and giving that kind of rounded off the whole package and made it really. I think that really brought it home and made it exceptional.
Do you
But the
believe that that
craziest
wasn't
thing,
planned? Like, do you
no, it
believe
was
it wasn't
definitely
planned like
planned.
Trey
No,
said?
of course it was planned. He's
Why would
just
he lie
really
to us,
good.
though? Why would he lie? I tell you what, if you even take out the third set as a two-set show, that
That's
might be
exactly
one
what
of
I
the
was
best
gonna
shows of
say.
the whole year as
Well,
a
that's the
two-set
crazy
show.
thing is
Just
even without the gag and everything, it was a phenomenal show, right? You had an awesome first set with hit after hit,
let's look at
jammy
it. Let's
kind
take a
of.
look at it.
Yeah, we will. Let's all right. Jesus, Kev, let's go.
Well, I want to see because I don't remember. Oh yeah, Mike's right there, but no second jam, and that's okay. Here,
All right, let's go in and do this traditional. Let's
I
pretend like
was I was
we're
questioning.
professionals.
Well, Mike's song to open, I was like, epic. Tonight is going to be epic, and then no second jam bouncing. I'm like, maybe it isn't.
I don't need a second jam on every single mics because then it's less special and it just gets folded in. I love the second jam on it, and I love a traditional mics like hydrogen. But to start New Year's Eve, I think this is an excellent choice. It sets the stage well. And this set is really great at dabbling a little bit into jams without being a real crazy spacey set two kind of night. And I thought this whole Mike's groove was great, honestly.
Dude, this could be a second set some nights.
Oh yeah, for sure. The as good as the
And you
groove
know what?
was, we're gonna be all over the
Sorry,
place tonight. That's okay. Go for it.
that's all right. I was gonna say I have a complicated relationship with bouncing, but when they went into Weekapi, I was like, that's cool. It's like they like bookended their early life, as this Mike's bounce and Weekapi. And I was like, at the end of Weekapi, I was like, it's a great nod, and it might have been the best Weekapi of the year.
No way. I don't
Oh
know. I
yeah,
mean,
I
it was
think so.
fine.
I think so.
You are, but if you go saying every single thing tonight was the best of the year, then it loses its.
Maybe it was.
Well, anyway, that stash was, I think, where the set really came
Not best
into
of the year.
focus.
Not best of the year.
Kev, man. All right.
All right, I love the stash. What I wrote was they had there was a little Almond Brothers jam in it. Um but the best part about it was that the Bliss Almond Brothers thing they did resolved into going back into the song, and that was really a masterclass. It felt like the whole band at 1 minute came together, boom, and went back into it, where it often feels like Trey jumps the gun on it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. No, it was awesome. And then coming out of it, Evolve is a song that I've typically shit on here, but it worked for me really. I think tonight, between the coming after that stash and then leading up into the llama and Mel, it was like a nice little refreshing breather. Didn't mind it. I don't know.
I was really happy when they did Llama because Llama was there. And I was like,
Yeah,
my
I was
man,
too.
Sorry, I got nothing to say about that. That's one of the two songs I would have dropped over the whole night,
What,
and it
Evolve?
still would have. Yeah,
Yeah, I listen. I think that's more a
it
testament to
still
the rest
sucks.
of the show. But I don't know, man. Maybe I was just in a good mood. Didn't let it bother me.
It
No,
doesn't do much for me, and the
I
whole
agree with
Born
Dark
Again
Star though.
overtone.
This is better than the studio version by a long shot. I think this was the better version of the song.
Sure,
And
and I'm glad that people like it, but I was
yeah,
really glad that they did Llama because our boy was
because of
there,
Llama, yeah.
and it's the second one he's got to see two in what 5 shows because it Dick's they did one the last time he was at Dick's.
Yeah, I don't know. Um,
That's a great stat. He's like nailing it with that.
you are funny tonight, my friend. Let's take
Mm,
it. Let's
it's
all
New
right.
Year's. What do you want from
Mel,
me? I love
I
Llama.
don't know,
What did
man.
you
I don't know
think?
why I'm surprised. We've done this every fucking show, and it's always it's fine, dude.
I
Melt
mean, and I
had
think the Llama
one.
was.
Welcome everybody. We'll pause. All right, let's focus up. Seriously, we got 3 fucking sets to get through, my man. All right. After a really standout year and a couple of years with Melt, this was a really nice micro version of the jam. It wasn't quite as expansive as we've seen on so many other Melts, but it got to where it needed to go quickly. It gave you enough deconstruction and then brought it all back to a nice build up and a conclusion very seamlessly that we discussed in the member hang set up Numberline really well, actually.
I feel like it did. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the longest melt. Like you said, it wasn't the most exploratory, but it was really solid for a first set. When at that moment, you're like, maybe that closes the set and there's still a mess of songs left. And like you said, at the end, the way Melt ends with the dun 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 really sets up something like Numberline, which sounds like a ripcords most times, but here, one song ended, boom, you picked right up on Numberline, and really, it's such a. I really get nostalgic with it nowadays because Tom and Trey and we wouldn't be sitting here talking tonight about what they did without this song.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I also agree that segues into Numberline should not exist. It should just be stop a song, start a song. Also, we got to give a shout out to the Bliss Jam. It was very, very major, happy, blissy jam. It was not, it was no gray area. It wasn't pretending to be anything it wasn't. And coming in between the Melt Jam and the Carini, which were both darker and more, psychotropic,
Right.
that really crisp bliss in the middle of those two darker, that sandwich was a really nice section of the set.
Right, it's like the Bliss was bookended by a little bit of darker.
Right. It's like an Oreo. You got the dark jam, the
Right.
sweet jam, and then the dark jam.
Exactly. The Carini, man, you know what you said the other night about Oblivion
Yeah. Getting
and it
spayed and
being
neutered.
neutered? I feel like Carini's been neutered.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. In the first set, when you have all this shit going on and it's New Year's and how cleanly they were playing, like, yeah, generally I
Well,
would
I got
agree
no
with you.
problem with it. No problem with it because they did the coil after it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're real heavy here on Lawn Boy. We got Bouncing, Split, and Squirmy Coil. And I really was feeling that vibe. It felt like they were very immersed in that, um, embracing who they were at the moment. The Squirmy Coil, I thought, was really a brilliant little flourish to close the set there. To let
I
Page have
was,
his moment.
yeah, and I was wondering if, because like I saw a couple of people saw the curly cues up on the thing, and they were like, hey, maybe a coil, right? So it's kind of like no, we're not doing Coil for New Year's. Get it out there, get the nod. But I love a Coil set closer. I think that's a great, interesting, and way to do it. So overall, I
I-
really really like this first set. I'm gonna keep us
I've
moving. I
always
don't want
wanted,
to feel manic, but I do want to get. I mean, we got 3 big ass sets to go through.
right. Well, let me just say about Coil. I would always love to see the piano that Page does resolve into another song, and the band walk back out and
Yeah,
close
do
the
you know
set
what it
with the
is?
song.
It would be Walls of the Cave. I've thought this through
No, it would
because Walls
be.
of the what? What would it be? Can I at least explain why? No, fuck it. We're going on to the second
No,
set.
no. You explain
Do
why.
not derail this show, Kev. We have a fucking whole show to get through.
I was going to say Lamb Lies Down on Broadway.
Oh, that would be a terrible move. That would be a fucking horrible move. Walls is already a set closer. It starts with the big dramatic piano. Do the piano solo, have the band leave. Then all these goes dong, dong, dong. The opening chimes to Walls, and the band comes out. And then by the end of that, the whole closer, big epic. You already have a built-in closer. Anyway, housekeeping. Tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, we are going to do a recap of the whole tour, the whole run, with Benji Eisen, New York Times bestselling author and friend of the
Benji.
pod. Benji will
Benji.
be on.
Bill
All right.
Kreutzmann's manager?
That guy. Yeah.
That guy?
That guy's going to be on Wook Plus tomorrow.
Get out of
Talk
here.
about fish.
It's going to be a 3-hour show, so.
I feel like people watching this for the
Hydrate.
first time are going to be like, what the fuck is going on?
Hydrate. Make sure you hydrate.
Yeah,
All right.
Kev.
Man, they like Sigma Oasis, and my friend did hit 20 minutes. It was 20:01.
Oh, well, this is the time you gave me.
I'd say that's the timing I had. That's the 19
Okay.
minutes is what other people said. All right, Sigma Oasis. I don't know, man. Like you're trying to. I understand at this point you want to throw a song out there that's one of your new tunes, something you feel like really makes you shine. And Sigma Oasis just has never done it for me. It's like it runs out of gas before it gets to a slow gallop.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to let you bring that negative shit in here tonight because I think it established the set perfectly. It's a really solid opener. I mean, it opens the freaking album that the title track, that
I
it's the
know
title
it
track of.
does.
And it,
So does
I
Evolve.
I don't think you get the my friend Sand epicness that we got without everyone locking in with that Sigma Oasis. I think that is just as much a part of this little trio as the other two. So I don't know. I really, really dug it. But that's fair. You don't have to
All
love
right.
it. You had to like,
No, I
well, you
don't.
had to love the my friend, I'm sure, right?
All right. My friend is the odds on Heisman Trophy for the winner for the year because even though it's old, it reinvented itself. And you gave me a great little antidote earlier about what you think happened with it.
Oh yeah, well they probably just playing it standard and stumbled into the jam and they were like, that's fucking cool, and they never looked back, right?
I mean,
I
they've
imagine
all
that's how it
been
went.
17, they've all been 16, 17, 18 minutes tonight is the longest either way, whether it's 1957 or 2001. But I mean, just so that's why I love this band. They have a song that's that old. It's been hanging out forever. It's always been a solid. If they did a My Friend, you were like, cool, they did a My Friend tonight. But now it's become something that you're like, I want to see a My Friend.
Oh fuck yeah, you do. And then not only because the jams are good, but they always seem to be tied to. I don't know. I say shit like this, and then people let me know in the comments how fucking wrong I am because I'm not like I'm just saying it off the top of my head. But I feel like they're always tied to really solid shows too. But you know what? I really liked the Sand Jam more than I typically have liked Sand Jams as of late. It's not that I don't like Sand. I just feels like they've gotten very standardized. This one, Trey kind of departs off from that sustained note a little bit earlier than he would. Does a little bit more funkiness with the guitar and allows the jam more quickly to go into a different space. And then set
Well,
up out of the my friend, I think it was really an interesting flavor to it, to begin with.
all right. I felt like as soon as as soon as the vocal ended, he like landed right into the sustain note, like you said, which is the signal we're going to open up. It really reminded me of older classic sands, and then about 8.5 minutes in, they totally I want to say Trey, opened it up and it went in a whole nother direction, which was refreshing because sometimes sand is what sand is. It's like you said, the bass line. It's that repetitive bass
Yeah,
line
that's
is what
Donato.
completely drives the song, right?
Yeah. Uh, Golden Age. I don't know, man. It doesn't stand out compared to my friend and Sam, but it kept the energy moving, and I think it was a really solid choice for this point of the set, right? Like you can't I don't know, maybe you can, but I feel like you can't help but be happy and moving when that's playing, right? Like it just gets people. It's a great song to get people moving. And
I
I also
like
get
Golden
chills
Age
every
when I'm
time
there.
they say, what's the line? Like, you're in the right place. Even when I'm not in
All
the
right,
right
clap
place,
if
I'm
you're in the
watching
right
on
place.
Couch Tour. Yeah, I still get goosebumps when he does that because every time he says it, you're like, yeah, I am. Fuck yeah.
It's one of those songs for me personally that when I see it live, I'm like, yeah, this is cool. But when I watch it on the stream, I'm like, yeah, this is cool.
Sure. Yeah, maybe it doesn't translate as well through the
But the beautiful
interwebs.
part about this golden age was the last minute where the whole band, collective mind, noodled down and landed into the question of the year 2025. What's the use?
Yeah, and this is a show right tonight that commanded everyone's attention, that everyone was fully locked in. And that's not always the case, by the way, on New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, you tend to get a lot of normies and partners that come. You would think that everybody would be 100% locked in, but a lot of times on New Year's, you do get a lot of chompers and shit. And I don't know, I
First
wasn't
date.
there, so maybe somebody can let us know in the comments if you were there how the room was. But it felt like the pin drop, like everybody was locked in, and that's the best way to have what's the use is when they can bring it so far down in volume and a room that big with that many people, and you can hear your heartbeat and there's so much power in that,
Right.
especially after everything they did leading up to it.
First date.
Yeah.
Babe, let's go see this band Fish on New Year's. Okay, sure. It sounds fun. Oh
If
man.
you do
And
that,
I
you're
tell you
definitely
what,
getting some.
I mean, I look at this on paper and I'm like, golden age, what's the use taste? And I'm like, eh, what is up with that? But the what's the use then again, they used it brilliantly as the instrumental and the landing into taste. I was like, another really great nod, a little feather in the cap for what the set ended up being.
Yeah, I loved the choice for taste here. It felt I don't know. I didn't catch exactly what happened, if it was a mistake or a variation, but something caught me my ear of like, oh, this is a little bit different. But it wasn't alarming or bad, right? It was not the standard, you know, taste transition into the jam. But I really liked that because I didn't expect it. So the one issue I've had with this run, and it's not an issue, but like observation is there was no subverting expectations. Every single show was almost exact. I could have, and this isn't a brag, right? But like we talked about it on that separate Kings. Every single night, we pretty much knew exactly what the show was going to be, including tonight, right? Like this set was very
Right. We
predictable, but
knew
the
a
taste,
sand would show up. Right. We knew my
right? You
friend
knew
would
my
show up.
friend, you knew the sand, you knew, but like that taste was a
Mike's
nice
song.
new flavor in there that I wasn't expecting that really livened up the set in without derailing it, right? Like Winter Queen could have been that same thing where it's a new flavor to interest things up. but it wasn't in their fingers, and it kind of messed up the flow. Whereas Taste just kept the flow going while giving you a little spice in the set. So I think that was
Yep.
a great choice.
Feather, nice little feather in Trey's
Another
cap
feather in
there.
the cap. Hell yeah. I
So
like
we
that
got a
metaphor.
double set closer there for the second set, and I mean, Golgi is Golgi, but first two I loved because I was like a second instrumental on one set. We've moved one step closer to maybe breaking that barrier where we don't have to have every song singing.
Yeah, right. Golgi was awesome, and first two was awesome. Another ostinato, another, you know, uh,
Ostinato.
yeah,
Ostinato, the word of the day.
yeah. All right.
I will be Googling it later.
Yeah, man. You should. All right. We already did housekeeping, so let's go
Did you like and
into
subscribe? Did you like and
like and
subscribe? Did you like
subscribe.
this video? Did you go in and like this
Did you
video?
do it? Did you tell your Wook friends about this channel?
Have you told your friends? Because you know what? That's the best gift. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And if you want
So
to peek into what member hangs look like, we inadvertently did the in between sets member hang for everybody tonight.
the second one, not the first one. Quick aside. So we've had the kids home for like 2 weeks because schools are closed or whatever with the holidays and shit. So we've been tired as shit. And like usually my wife and I watch PHiSH together and we do New Year's or whatever, but she had fallen asleep because we've been exhausted. But during character zero, she messaged me and she's like, "Hey, did the gag start yet?" And I was like, "It's just about to." She actually came down. So I was able to watch the whole second set with her, which was really special for me because she's like, besides my brother earlier on, she's the person I've seen the most shows with. And it was really cool to watch. And I got her perspective. So some of my takes on this, I'm going to give credit to her because she was really into the visuals and this whole set, and I was too, but I went about it a slightly different way. All right, why don't you kick things off?
Weird choice to open. I was like, what is going on? We have a set closer to open the third set on New Year's. And I'll just wait for the accolades.
What's for your calls? Yeah, that was pretty nuts. So it was so nuts that it's suspicious. Like, did you know? Were
I
there
didn't know
rumors that you?
anything.
So for you, those of you who haven't been watching, for the last year or so, Kev had been calling Pillow Jets as the thing, the gag, right? And then we found out Game Henge, but that was going back to last year. And then about a month ago, he started saying what's going through your mind, and it turned out to be both his previous thought and his new thought. So that was a pretty good call. Although I don't
I'm
know
gonna
if
make
it's
a shirt.
entirely unexpected, right?
No,
But
it's not that unexpected. I did not go that far out, but I am gonna make a shirt. And let me tell you, when a few minutes into it, I was like, "Those masks are gonna come together." And when they did, and they did Odd Lane sign, I mean, Pillow Jets was so fantastic. It was like they took the step from last year. They were like, have you checked us out this last year? We released a new album. We did a fantastic tour. We brought back the festivals. We did the Sphere. We did our Mexico run. We blew all expectations out of the water. And here we are together, and we're giving you Pillow Jets.
yeah, I mean, it's a bold choice. I don't know if it's like a step forward as much as it's a step to the side, and it's like, hey, we're gonna just go in a completely new direction and let that be its thing. I don't know how, if you've looked at the lyrics for those songs, but it's like an old Greek epic. And like the sewing star threads through the air with silver serpents and the sounding of the
The
bells and the
Conjurers,
elusive and
they had
unbound.
the Conjurers come out. I mean, that was so fantastic. Those people in orange, I was like, this is so great.
Yeah. I don't know. All right. I'm just going to speak frankly for a second because I loved this whole thing and I loved the visuals. I don't particularly love the song. It got there eventually for me, right? Especially later on when they did the EDM thing. But even like the Broadway singing with it, I
Are
don't know,
we
man.
doing
It's a
Pillow
mixed
Jets
bag for
here, or
me.
what's going through your mind? Which one are
The
we?
whole, I mean, Pillow Jets is what I'm talking about right now. But like the weird vocalization with yeah, and I don't know,
That's the
musically.
Conjuring, man. That was the whole Conjuring of Thunder.
Yeah, you're right. Trey can't
Oh,
not Broadway, and fuck it, let him do him. It was
I thought it
cool.
was fantastic. I thought it was so cool that they bothered to orchestrate 15, 16 minutes of Pillow Jets out to have people doing vocals over top of it. A lot of work went into them making that 16 minutes of music happen.
Yeah, no, and they did a fantastic job, and honestly, the visuals were insanely impressive for how simple it was, right? Like you could argue that
Minimal, yeah.
like Rescue Squad was more complicated with the platforms or Petrichor with the fucking rain or whatever. This was like just a couple of dancers and a couple of the masks and a couple of spiral things, but
Was
the
that Joe?
impact. What's
Was
that?
that Joe from the Beacon? I think one of the conjurers was Joe from the Beacon that
Oh,
she
might have
gave
been,
Trey and a hug at the end. Yeah. I don't
but yeah,
remember her last name, and
I would love to find out who did the aesthetics for it, the art design, because the palette, the coloring, the boldness of the yellow over the purples and blues with the clouds and stuff. Yes, it was Joe. Um,
it
I
was
mean,
all right.
visually, it was just super impactful and absolutely killed it. Yeah, and the video, the sphere, exactly that aspect. It had secret set vibes to it too, right? Which was
Mhm.
awesome.
Right, and then we got the obligatory odd lane, and then what's going through your mind? They
Mine,
completely
mine, 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 mine,
they
mine.
took
Sorry.
Fish to another level, resampling themselves. I heard a little Haley's Comet. I can't remember what the other two vocals that they started singing were from other songs.
There was a
Yeah,
bouncing tease in there.
and there was
Uh
Haley's.
there
There
was
was a Haley's,
Haley's. There was
the
a few.
spaghetti thing. Yeah. And that was I was just like, "This is so brilliant." They came out all which we didn't mention, they all came out wearing blue, which made me think of the Disco Biscuits where they wore the same suits
Yeah, but
over the past
they
year.
were pillow jet fighters, right? Like that.
Yeah, it had some, like, brand on the side. Yeah, I didn't see what the thing on the side said on their arm.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
yeah, they had some, like, a logo. I bet there's gonna be, gear
oh,
available
there
soon.
yeah, there's absolutely going to be fish kits. All right. So the EDM, what's going through your mind thing? Music, A plus, loved it. Uh the visuals with the mask and everything, A plus, loved it. The sampling, loved it. The club kids and the fish chicks with the fans, not a huge fan. That's kind of where it lost me. I was like, they didn't need to be. It almost felt like offensive. All right, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but almost offensive, right? Of like doing a caricature of kids at a rave and like this is what we're doing. Like not offensive, but kind of like because
Like an after
there's a
school
whole
special.
right, like there's a whole culture to these things, and like you go out and fucking and it almost is like a caricature of. I don't know. It was distracting, and for whatever reason, it didn't sit well for me. But without the fucking Broadway ravers, everything else about it, I was 100% behind. I know there were people bitching about it, but I loved the fucking
I
dabbling into the
didn't
DJ Fish thing.
I did not notice what you were talking about. So, given that, I was sitting there through that 16 minutes is like this is one of the most fun things I have seen Fish do in a long time.
You didn't see the kids dancing, the fucking fish chicks and all that?
I have it playing over here. I don't always look that way.
Oh, well then you're on the same page as me cuz all the everything else about it I fucking loved. So I mean, yeah, we're 100% on the same page.
Right. And then we got into a series of what I figured would be set closers.
Yeah, every single one felt like it. I thought for sure. I mean, I wasn't paying attention to the clock, but I thought for sure by the time they got the slave, that was it.
That was it.
Uh,
Yeah, we were done. But
yeah, I mean,
all
I
right,
don't
so
have much to
Chalk
say
Dust,
about Chalk Dust, but what do you think?
solid. Good for them. It's a classic. We got they wanted to, I felt like the Chalk Dust Slave was we're gonna make sure we do all the hits. So anybody
Yeah.
who came to all 4 nights can check off all the hits.
I mean, they
But
really
really,
played every hit in this run. It was insane how many big time songs they got in each show. It's like fucking
but I think
everything.
the headline is the life-saving gun.
Yeah. Well, and
Again,
I
it's the
love that
new
it
thing.
tied it in because this was an extreme version of Fish EDM with the What's Going Through Your Mind, but they had been growing into that more and more over the last couple of years with the bleeps and bloops and like Life Saving Gun and
Much
most
better
events aren't
than the
planned.
Vita
And
Blues songs. Much better than the Vita Blues songs. So I would
it's an
take what's going through.
evolution of the Vita Blue songs, though. That's where it came from. That's where that flavor came from. I mean, you have the synth on Trey's rig, but the writing of it and that influence came from Page. And like, I appreciate, like the same way that like the early Junta songs led to like Rift and all these things, the Vita songs led to this, what happened tonight. And I mean, I don't know. But yeah, the Life Saving
You
Gun
don't
was
have to
fucking
like the
dope.
journey to like the eventual destination.
And you know what I didn't like? The Santos
Well, say it to
closer.
me, Santos, the
Yeah.
closest.
Why? Why do that? You fucking nailed this whole third set. You nailed the whole show.
They
Everything was
opened with a
fucking
closer.
great.
They opened with a closer and they closed with another closer. They're two big closers.
Yeah,
I mean,
savvy.
they're in Madison Square Garden. Trey wants to play the big rock and roll song, and I thought it was 5 minutes. Good, I got an extra 5 minutes out of you.
Yeah, but they played like 7 other closers that are better than Santos in non-closer spots tonight. Like there were so many songs that would have been epic. Right? Didn't they play First Tube tonight?
Yeah,
Like
they
they played
closed the second set. They closed the second set with it.
there's so many great closers.
3
And
sets tonight. 3 sets.
Santos is the weakest of all of the possible closers. Even the
They should have
coil,
opened
I
with
would have
Santos.
loved better.
They should have opened with Santos and closed with Character Zero.
Yeah. Or just
There you
closed
go.
with, yeah. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
so
I'm allowed to be critical for one fucking song. I'm going to hear in the comments,
you
oh, you guys
are.
are so negative. I loved tonight.
Oh,
It's fine.
you're a conspiracy theorist apparently,
Who,
and you
me?
don't think that Iculus was completely organic in the moment.
No, I don't. Do you?
I do. I do.
You
I think
you
they were
think
just
it
going to do
was in the
grind
moment?
freeze or reprise and be out, and they, for whatever reason, they probably have been talking about the fact over this run that they didn't do Iculus with Gamehenge last year. So I think it was in the back of Trey's mind. He had
I
heard
think
from other
it's
people.
No, I think it's in between. I think when they walked out on stage for Grind, he knew he was going to do it. They knew they were going to do it. They talked about doing it. You could tell the way they went into it.
So that's
But I
not
don't
planned
think it
then.
was planned for weeks in advance and had the script written out. I think they were probably joking about it backstage or somebody brought it up again. And they're like, oh, you know what'd be funny? We should play that. And this is we didn't do it before. And then he was like, oh shit, I have to come up with a whole narration. I haven't written out my narration. But it's not like he was on stage and was like, in the moment, hey, I'm going to fucking play Iculus.
Right. It's weird how we refer to the band as he.
Am I Paris or Nicole? I feel like I'm Nicole. I feel like you're Paris.
I'm not very Paris. Am I Parisy?
That's
Jo,
hot.
c'est dommage.
Say that's hot. All right.
C'est dommage. I don't know how to say that's hot. Es fuego.
Oh no, we're moving back on to Grind. Let's stay in our lane. It's Fish, my friend.
Grind?
Fish.
I don't know. That's cool. Good for them.
It's fucking awesome. What are you talking about? It is such a great choice at Madison Square Garden on New Year's Eve after having this huge fucking Broadway production and the lights and everything. I always love to think about the the usher on the first day on the job, or like the partner that goes to see PHiSH for the first time, and then they fucking do grind, and what that must, like, the confusion that sets in, like, what the fuck is happening? Epic. I love that choice. And it's nice because it's short. And so, like, even if you're like, don't love it, it's, it's whatever. It happens super quick. Did I lose you?
I'm with you.
Oh no, your batteries
No,
are
you
dying.
didn't
We
lose
better
me.
wrap
I'm right
up
here.
soon.
I tell you what, if you want to know an album that was released in 1980, Joy Division's second album was released in 1980, and the lead singer hung himself not long after it was released. It's called Closer.
I'm glad we're ending the show with the high note. Just positivity, my friend. All right, so I'm gonna be oddly and weirdly critical for half a second, and it's tongue in cheek, but
Of Tweezer Reprise? Of Tweezer
No,
Reprise? You're really gonna
no, about the Iculus. This was actually a pretty weak ass Iculus. I have caught a couple of Iculus where it's a very long, drawn out narration and the build up and read the fucking book, and like you get like this was not a true Iculus. This Kev, we heard your joke. You don't have to repeat it 15 times, my friend. We're trying Jesus. What'd you think? Let's get out of here. Good.
We love you.
No,
Tomorrow,
right.
9 Eastern. I don't know. It was Iculus. The one at Dick's was better, but it was fun.
All right. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Happy New Year's, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you for supporting us.
We'll see you guys tomorrow for the full recap. I love you, man. This is a fun run. Thanks, Kev.
Whole tour tomorrow.
Yeah. Whole tour? Whole run.